Hello and welcome. I'm Ethan or the E-Reader. This is season 1, episode 17 of the E-Reader podcast. Okay, just a few things to talk about. Sorry you didn't get episode on Saturday. I didn't really have anything to talk about, so I didn't do that. And you've probably seen the title. This is my Mistborn review. And sorry I posted so many videos of Mistborn. I started one in a midway review, and then this one's a review. There's a lot of hype behind this book, and I'll tell you my thoughts. They're very positive. Anyway, I'll probably forget to talk about some things. This might be a longer review, but I'm definitely gonna forget to talk about certain things I want to. So let's just get into it. This will be spoiler free and then spoiler. I'll start with the spoiler free part. This book is about this 17-year-old well, she's 16 but then turns 17 um girl, and her name's Vin, and she's a ska, which is like the peasants, I guess you could say. Not Yeah, kind of it's like, yeah, peasants, I guess you could say. They're the lower class people of this whole world called the Final Empire. And she there's something in this world called mistings and mistborn. Well, first, sorry, I'll talk about the magic system. There's certain metals that if you swallow them and burn them in your chest, um, they will do certain powers. For example, pewter gives you strength. I don't have them memorized, so I don't know. I forget. Um, and other ones, they could soothe your emotions or riot them. One can give you strength. One can push metal and pull metal. It's a really cool magic system, but at the same time, pretty simple enough to understand. Um, anyway, Vin is a Mistborn, which means that she has all the powers. If she swallows any of the metals, then gets those powers. But there's also Mistings in this world that they only have the power of one metal. So if they swallow all metals, they won't have the powers of the other metals. They'll only have the power of one certain metal. Um, yeah, and then these people are called certain things. So there's thugs, which are the people who swallow pewter. I'm pretty sure they get strength, but they don't get any more. They don't get power from other metals. But there's also a character called Kelsier. Sorry, I read these in my head, so I don't. These are my first time in pronouncing the names. There's also a character called Kelsier, and he is a 35-year-old guy who's really cool. He's a really nice father figure toward Vin. And there's also a guy named Lord Ruler, and the point of the book is they're going to get a heist, defeat the Lord Ruler. That's pretty much it. So that's my spoiler free. My thoughts about it, spoiler free, is it was amazing. You should definitely read it. It was a 5-star book for me. It was amazing. There was a part inside that was about 50 to 75 pages that was pretty slow and exposition heavy, but if you get through that, it's a 600-page book. You'll fly through the rest. So, now I'm going to talk about spoilers. So, if you haven't read the book, please leave, go read it, and then come back, and you can listen to my thoughts about this book. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, here are my thoughts of Mistborn: The Final Empire. I'll definitely forget certain things, which I'll think about probably after, which sucks. But I love the characters. The characters are so well done. But I also I'll start with the pros and then go to the cons. Um, the characters were so good. The magic system was so simple to understand, but at the same time, really well. And I would have never thought of a magic system like this. Um, and yeah, those are my pros. And then cons is there, like I said, it's spoiler free. There's one part, 50, 75 pages. I think it was around page 300 that it was pretty slow, pretty exposition heavy, and pretty boring. But once you get past that, it was really good. The ending especially was really good. But now I'll talk about certain scenes I really liked or thought just want to talk about. One scene is where they're going to Credit Shaw, Lord Ruler's palace place, the first time. So it's around page 300. Um, I found there wasn't enough emphasis of where they were going. Like this is the palace where the Lord Ruler, the he's practically immortal. I'll talk about that later, but he's practically immortal, and they don't really like give you a sense of this is really important. Like Kelsler is on a roof, and then Vin shows up. Or sorry, Vin's on a roof, and Kelsler is like Vin was following Kelsier, and Callister like shows up behind her and scares her and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to this place." And Vin's like, "I'm coming with you." And he's like, "No." And then she's convinces him yes. But it's kind of like a really fast yeah, sure, I want to go. And then they get there. It's like, and then she gets like wounded and stuff like that. But it doesn't. It's not hyped up enough. Like it seems like they're just going to like pick up something from a neighbor or something. It doesn't seem that um hyped up, I guess. But maybe that was just me. These are all my opinions, by the way, so you can disagree with me. Um, that was one scene I found weird. Um, one bad thing that I found was that, um, sorry, I say a lot. The characters, I found they told you like, oh, he is mean, or he tells you a lot of weird facts, but and then he just stays by that. This person never changes. One that I think about, I'm pretty sure is Breeze. He always talks about like things that will like make your head hurt to think about, and then he stays by that. He never changes. He's always the one gonna tell you the weird things, and I found that weird. Like people are changing. They're not gonna be the same. They're gonna be different the next time you see them. So I thought that was pretty weird. But other than that, my opinions of this book were amazing. I know it took me a week, but that average is a pretty long book too. I loved it. I read as much as I can every day. It was amazing. I keep saying it's amazing, but it's truly, you can't I can't really describe how good it is until you have to read it to understand how good it is. Um, I think this was one of my first, other than Lord of the Rings, high fantasy book where high fantasy is the author creates the whole world. Like Harry Potter isn't high fantasy because it takes place on Earth, so it's like low fantasy. I'm pretty sure it's called. But this is my second high fantasy book other than Lord of the Rings, and like this was amazing. They described the world so much. Um, they made you feel bad for the right people. They made you hate the right people too. Um, another scene I loved was uh the battle scene at the end. Vin against Lord Ruler, where she was in there alone. The Inquisitors were dead. Um, Marsh was pretty much unconscious, and she was against the Lord Ruler. And I would have never thought of that. That he was um I forgot what they're called, the Fredricksons or whatever. um, the thing that Sazed is Sazed. I forget what they're called. Sorry, I forget easily. Um, I would have never thought that he's an allomancer and a thing and the other thing. Like I would have never thought that to put them together, and he's immortal. That was just genius. As well as another genius thing that I would have never thought of. Maybe I'm dumb, or Brandon Sanderson is just an amazing writer. Is that the book or the that everyone thought that was written by the Lord Ruler? Was actually written by the supposed hero of the ages, but and the person described Rashak, who was the Lord Ruler. The Lord Ruler, or Rashak, killed the person who's writing this diary, and Rashak became the Lord Ruler, which was amazing. I thought that the person writing the diary thing was the Lord Ruler, but it wasn't. It was his companion, which was amazing. I would have never thought of that, and that was just genius to me. Um, yeah, the whole book is just genius to me. It just it my mind was blown on how good it was executed, and I can't wait to get into the second book. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this book. This has been one of my longer reviews. Next, I'm going to get into Night Shift by Stephen King. It's a short story collection. Then I'll get into the second book of Mistborn, which I'm so excited to get into. I love the character so much. Oh, one thing I forgot to talk about: Kelsier's death. Oh gosh, never saw it coming. Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of did see it coming, but it was I never knew how Kelsier was so smart. Like I don't go around killing yourself, but um, it just seems like it was a smart move in this world. How he sacrificed himself, and after that, the Ska were like he is a god, and that was his plan all along. I would have never thought about that. But there's a lot of things I never think about in books. That's what makes me so surprised at the end when they have big reveals. Anyway, amazing book. Um, so yeah, you can we can discuss in the comments if you like. I'm Ethan or the E-Reader. This has been season 1, episode 17 of the E-Reader podcast. Thanks for listening. See you next time.